Forget everything you think you know about MotoTOG. The era of the 1000cc giants is dying, and a new, more dangerous revolution is screaming to life. Tonight, we go inside the top-secret garages of Sepang, where Honda is testing a weapon that shouldn't exist yet, the 850cc RC214V. But the hardware isn't the only shockwave. The Turkish Hurricane, Toprak Razgatlıoğlu, has officially signed a factory contract to bring his gravity-defying style to the Yamaha grid. New engines, new tires, new legends. This isn't just a season preview. This is the blueprint for a total takeover, from Nakagami's lonely mission in the rain to the secret weapon that makes Toprak the man every rider should fear in 2027. This is the news that just changed the sport forever. Let's dive into the 10 points that define the future of speed. The dawn of the 850cc era, Honda's high-stakes gamble. The tropical heat of Sepang didn't just bring humidity. It brought the scent of a new era as Honda unleashed the RC214V. This isn't just a motorcycle. It is a $100 million statement of intent, a prototype forged specifically for the 2027 technical overhaul that will see engine capacities slashed from 1000cc to 850cc. While the rest of the grid remains obsessed with the immediate glory of 2025, Honda's HRC engineers have pivoted their entire philosophy toward the future. The RC214V represents a radical departure from the aggressive, often unpredictable nature of the current RC213V. By shrinking the bore and reimagining the combustion cycle 2 years early, Honda is attempting to master the thermal efficiency and power delivery of the smaller displacement before their rivals even sketch a blueprint. The tension in the garage is palpable. Every sensor on this bike is screaming data back to Saitama, Japan, where the fate of the world's largest motorcycle manufacturer hangs in the balance. This is a desperate, calculated move to reclaim the throne they lost to the European giants. In the high-stakes world of Grand Prix racing, Honda is no longer playing the current game. They're inventing the next one, hoping that this head start will turn their recent years of humiliation into a legacy of foresight and dominance. Nakagami's solitary crusade, the guardian of the future. Takaaki Nakagami has transitioned from a midfield warrior to the most critical asset in Honda's development arsenal. While the spotlight often shines on the factory stars, Nakagami has been handed the keys to the kingdom, the exclusive development of the 2027 850cc prototype. His mission at the Sepang test was nothing short of Herculean: to translate the raw, unrefined feedback of a brand new engine into a language the engineers can use to build a championship winner. Every time Nakagami twists the throttle on the RC214V, he is feeling for the nuances of a power curve that doesn't yet exist for any other rider on the planet. The weight of an entire corporation rests on his shoulders. He isn't just looking for lap times, he is looking for the soul of the 850cc machine. The psychological toll of this role is immense. He must ignore the urge to chase the leaders and instead focus on the grueling, repetitive task of data logging. Nakagami is the pioneer walking through the dark forest, clearing the path so that others may eventually run. His feedback on engine braking, crankshaft inertia, and the chassis response to the lighter power plant will dictate whether Honda enters 2027 as a predator or remains the prey. It is a lonely, vital crusade that defines the very essence of a test rider's sacrifice for the greater good of the team. The concession trap, the cost of Honda's rising form. Success in MotoGP is a double-edged sword, and Honda just felt the sting of its own progress. By demonstrating enough competitive flashes to be promoted to rank C in the official concession system, Honda has inadvertently triggered a countdown that limits their most precious resource, track time. Gone are the days of unlimited private testing and free engine development that allowed them to experiment without consequence. Now, they are shackled by the same stringent regulations that govern the likes of Ducati and KTM. This promotion is a bittersweet milestone. It proves the bike is getting faster, but it simultaneously pulls the rug out from under their development program, just as the 850cc project reaches a critical juncture. Every lap Nakagami completes in Malaysia is now worth 10 times what it was last year. The rank status means fewer sets of tires for testing and a finite number of days to solve the puzzles of the new engine. The engineering team is now working under a literal ticking clock. knowing that any mistake in the design phase cannot be easily rectified with extra track days. The pressure has reached a boiling point. Honda must now be perfect in their execution, as the luxury of trial and error has been stripped away by the very governing body that seeks to level the playing field. Monsoon sabotage, the frustrating reality of Sepang. Nature has a cruel way of humbling the most advanced technology on Earth, and for 3 grueling days in Sepang, the skies opened with a biblical fury. For Honda and Nakagami, the rain wasn't just weather, it was a thief stealing their future. With the 850cc prototype sitting in the garage, draped in sensors and anticipation, the relentless Malaysian monsoon turned the circuit into a lake, rendering high-speed data collection impossible. In a sport where championships are won in millimeters and milliseconds, losing 3 days of dry running is a catastrophe that could resonate for years. The engineers stood helplessly by watching the radar as the window for testing the new Pirelli tires and the 850cc power delivery slammed shut. Every hour of rain represented a lost opportunity to understand how the smaller engine interacts with the chassis under maximum load. The frustration in the pits was visible, etched on the faces of the Japanese mechanics who had traveled thousands of miles for data that would never come. While wet weather testing offers some insights into electronics, it does nothing to validate the structural integrity or the aerodynamic efficiency of the 2027 platform at 200 mph. The rain didn't just dampen the track, it doused the flames of Honda's momentum, leaving them with more questions than answers. Toprak Razgatlıoğlu, the Turkish Hurricane hits Yamaha. The tectonic plates of MotoCog shifted permanently with the official confirmation. Toprak Razgatlıoğlu is coming to Yamaha in 2026. This isn't just another rider signing. It is the arrival of a phenomenon. A man who defies the laws of physics every time he enters a corner. For years, the MotoTog paddock has whispered about the stop rack, wondering if his flamboyant, front-wheel stunt riding style could ever translate to the rigid, ultra-sophisticated world of Grand Prix prototypes. Yamaha has finally pulled the trigger, securing the world's superbike legend with a full factory contract that places him at Pramac Yamaha. The message from Yamaha director Paolo Pabesio was crystal clear. This is not a marketing gimmick to sell bikes in Istanbul. This is a hunt for a world title. Toprak is a rider who thrives on chaos, a man who can find grip where none exists, and his arrival represents a direct challenge to the established order. The Turkish Hurricane brings with him a level of aggression and bike control that the MotoGP hasn't seen since the heyday of Marquez. His signing has sent shockwaves through the paddock, forcing every team to reconsider their 2026 strategies. The king of superbikes is moving to the big stage, and he isn't coming to participate, he is coming to take over the throne and rebuild Yamaha's empire. The Pirelli paradox, Toprak's secret 2027 weapon. While the move to Yamaha in 2026 is the headline, the real story begins in 2027, when MotoGP undergoes its most significant hardware change in a decade, the switch to Pirelli tires. For every other rider on the grid, this will be a journey into the unknown, a frantic scramble to understand the carcass flex and thermal degradation of the Italian rubber. But for Toprak Razgatlıoğlu, 2027 will feel like coming home. Having spent his entire professional career mastering the nuances of Pirelli tires in World Superbike, Toprak possesses a muscle memory that no amount of testing can replicate for his rivals. He understands how to load the front tire under extreme braking, and how the rear tire communicates at the limit of its life. While the likes of Bagnaia and Martin are struggling to adapt their riding styles to the new tire profile, Toprak will already be pushing at 100%. This is the Pirelli paradox. The very thing that makes the transition difficult for others makes it a playground for Toprak. He won't just be a rookie in 2027. He will be the professor, and the rest of the grid will be his students. This technical alignment creates a terrifying prospect for the competition. A world-class talent who already speaks the language of the tires that everyone else is just starting to learn. Pavesio's mandate: talent over targeted marketing. In the corporate world of modern motorsports, there is often a cynical assumption that riders from emerging markets are signed for their passports rather than their pace. Yamaha director Paolo Pabesio took a metaphorical sledgehammer to that narrative during the announcement of Toprak's contract. He emphasized that the decision to bring Razgatlıoğlu into the Yamaha fold was born out of a cold, hard analysis of his on-track performance. Yamaha isn't looking for a poster boy, they are looking for a predator. Papasio's mandate is simple: return Yamaha to the top of the podium by any means necessary. And Toprak is the most potent weapon available in the global market. By placing him on a full factory specification bike at Pramac, Yamaha is ensuring that Toprak has no excuses. They are providing him with the exact same engineering support as the factory squad, creating a satellite team in name only. This move signals a shift in Yamaha's culture, a move away from the safe, conservative choices of the past and toward a high-risk, high-reward strategy. Pavasio knows that to beat the Ducati juggernaut, you need a rider who can do things that shouldn't be possible. He has bet the future of the M1 project on the belief that Toprak is that man, a rider whose talent transcends borders and marketing spreadsheets. The 2026 adaptation, a year of controlled chaos. The transition from a production-based superbike to a purpose-built MotoTOG prototype is often described as trying to learn a new language while running a marathon. Toprak Razgatlıoğlu is under no illusions about the difficulty of 2026. He has publicly stated that his first year will be dedicated to enjoyment and adaptation, a clever psychological tactic to deflect the immense pressure of the global spotlight. However, behind that calm exterior lies a fierce competitor who hates to lose. The 2026 season will be a year of controlled chaos, as Toprak learns to master the carbon brakes, the complex ride-height devices, and the intricate electronics that define a MotoTOG bike. Unlike his superbike, which allows for a certain level of sliding, a MotoCOG machine demands surgical precision and a different way of managing corner entry speed. Toprak will have to deconstruct his entire riding philosophy and rebuild it from the ground up. But the beauty of this adaptation year is that he will be doing it on a factory-spec Yamaha, surrounded by the best engineers in the business. By the time he reaches the midpoint of the season, the enjoyment phase will inevitably vanish, replaced by the clinical pursuit of podiums. 2026 is the fuse. 2027 is the explosion that Toprak is preparing to trigger. Target, the 8-time world champion. In the world of elite racing, respect is earned on the track, but rivalries are born in the mind. Toprak Razgatlıoğlu has already fired the first psychological shot by naming the man he wants to beat most: the legendary Marc Marquez. This isn't just youthful arrogance, it is a calculated choice of targets. By singling out the 8-time world champion, Toprak is aligning himself with the greatest of the era, signaling that he doesn't just want to win races. He wants to defeat the gold standard of the sport. The prospect of a battle between Marquez and Razgatlıoğlu is the stuff of fan fever dreams. Marquez, the master of the save and the king of left-handers, versus Toprak, the god of late braking and aerial acrobatics. It is a clash of titans that promises to redefine the limits of what a motorcycle can do. Toprak knows that to be considered the best in the world, he must take the scalp of the man who has dominated the last decade. This ambition is the fuel for his training, the motivation for his move, and the central storyline of the 2026 season. The paddock is already bracing for the impact of these two forces of nature meeting on track. When Toprak looks at the grid, he doesn't see heroes, he sees obstacles, and Marc Marquez is the largest, most formidable obstacle of them all. The 2027 revolution, a new world order. We are standing on the precipice of a revolution that will change the face of MotoTOG forever. The convergence of the 850cc engine regulations and the switch to Pirelli tires in 2027 is a reset button for the entire sport. This is the moment where the traditional power structures could crumble. Honda's early gamble on the RC214V, Nakagami's tireless testing, and Toprak's arrival at Yamaha are all threads in a larger tapestry of change. The bikes will be lighter, more nimble, and perhaps more reliant on rider skill than pure electronic intervention. This shift favors the brave, the adaptable, and the visionary. We are entering an era where the data of the past 10 years becomes largely irrelevant, and the slate is wiped clean. The 2027 season won't just be about who has the fastest bike. It will be about who prepared best during the dark days of 2025 and 2026. As the engines grow smaller, the drama only grows larger. The fans are the ultimate winners in this scenario, as they prepare to witness a spectacle of raw talent and cutting-edge engineering clashing in a way the sport has never seen. The countdown to 2027 has begun, and the world is watching to see who will emerge from the smoke of this revolution as the new king of the two-wheeled world.